name is Antwan. Last name Castoe. Now that we've begun, welcome to the show. Come listen to us, topics we discuss. We think we are smart, but we couldn't prove it. And we bullshit too, and then when we're through, we all act like maybe we were funny. His name is Antwan. Castoe.
I'm hydrated. There's a perfect kind of overcast
Guess who's back?
going on outside. Back again.
Shady's back?
Tell a friend.
All right, Nick, do the bit.
All right. It's time for the Castoe Show. A beautiful Sunday noon. Wonderful temperatures. Oh, man. I can't keep going.
Keep going. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. It was good. You did good.
Yeah, rest in peace, a legend. And also, let's go Dodgers. Am I right?
Let's go Dodgers. All right. So, I finally, after a week or how long? No, it hasn't been a week. It's only been a couple days. We can talk about Freddie Freeman real quick. Which, I mean, I know that's not how you win games. You win them by getting them. But man,
buddy, big time players make big time plays, and Freddie Freeman is straight up white excellence. I couldn't believe my eyes.
If 9 million fireflies, it was like, oh man, watching it live on the TV because I don't live in LA.
Fake, right?
Yeah, it felt like a movie moment. Especially since, like, right before they walked Mookie Betts, right? So they didn't have to deal with him. And I was like, wouldn't it be... I made a comment to my mom. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if, like... he just hit a home run, right?
This would have happened right now, yeah.
And then it's, like, straight down the middle. The same pitch... Basically the same pitch he gave Ohtani, right? Where it's, like, straight down the middle. Choo-choo! Except he hit it, and as soon as he hit it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's gone. That's out of here. That's got
Nasty
distance.
Nestor served up the sloppiest meatball sub, going a snail's pace right down the middle of the plate.
Oh, buddy!
I mean, you can't write it better than that.
You can't write it
better. Also, I was a little surprised to find out that was the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history.
In World Series history, never been done before. No one's ever done it.
Yeah, and Freddie was just saying what we were all thinking. He's in like the post-game interview right after, and he's like, "Oh, it's just the shit that you come up when you're a kid, playing wiffle ball in the back with your brothers."
Yeah,
like it's bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs. I'm like, oh,
here comes Babe the Ruth Porter up the bat, point the bat out.
Absolutely, bro. Porky,
yeah. Get him out of here, and they did. And afterwards, he ran up to his
actual
dad.
Yankees fan. That guy, though.
Who? Freddie Freeman? Who are we talking about?
From Sandlot.
Oh, probably. I don't know. I don't keep up with the actors from Sandlot, really. I know every line in the film Sandlot. I cannot tell you what the actors have been up to.
All like a whore.
And then
yeah.
Is that your sister in the outfield, naked? Do you think she'd go on a date with you? Shut up, Porter.
It's the same exact energy from Step Brothers.
The reason it's such a good kids movie is that it's because it feels like kids talking shit the whole movie.
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like exactly what it is. So it's like you watch it as a kid and you're like, oh yeah, that's what it's like to just be like, he's an L7 weenie. Yeah. Oscar Mayer, Dodger Dog, a weenie. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, forever.
Yeah, forever.
Squints, what a Chad. Finessing his way.
He had 9 kids with oh god. Windy Peppercorn. I said I knew every line of that movie. I love it because
it's these kids, honestly, this is how kids looked when I was a kid, right? Versus if you look at kids today or kids in movies now, they look old. They look old as shit. You know, it's like they
look like adults.
Kind of awkward face.
They look like adults, or it's like, how old are you? And it's like, I'm 12, and it's like, no, you're not. You're 4 years old. I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a second.
It's like these guys look normal. Their clothes don't fit the best. You know, they're just kind of
they're kids.
They're actual kids, real human beings. And I'm like, wow, it's hard to make movies like that anymore. And everybody's a Dodger fan. Would you look at that? Let's go.
Yeah, it's filmed right in the Valley. It's filmed in L.A. But
it's down the block from you, dude.
Yeah.
Perfectly crafted cinema. Just for me. And also, it wasn't just the game 1 victory over the Yankees.
I didn't see game 2 too much. I was actually I looked at the score before I got in the shower last night, and it was like 1-1. I got out of the shower, I looked at the score, and it was 4-1. I was like, oh, something happened.
Oh, look at that right there. Oh yeah. No, it was that was just a pitching masterclass from really everybody, you know. Mm-hmm. Our lovely little Japanese man, who Antwan already threw up a picture of, Yamamoto. Love that guy. Man, I can't wait for like an AI of him saying that. It's like, oh, I own the Yankees. I am Aaron Judge Papasa. You know,
I drink your milkshake.
Pretty
I come over to New York. Yeah.
So Yamamoto went off. The bullpen carried it. Treinen gave me a little bit of a heart attack in the 9th. Mm-hmm. But hey, it's the World Series. You know, you can't expect a fucking cakewalk.
No.
Absolutely not. No, yeah. And the middle of the lineup woke up. We got some really clutch dingers. We love Tommy Edman. What an everyman. He even said in the interview after the game, he's like, oh yeah, obviously I'm a little different from like some of the guys on the Yankees. I could walk into a coffee shop and nobody's really going to know. Like, they're not going to piece together who I am immediately. Like, even my sister made a comment on it where she's like, oh God, like, what's up with all the Yankees? They're all huge.
A lot of them are pretty tall. There was that one guy who hit like that home run. Game 1, I forget his name, but he was rough.
Carlos Stanton is a giant of a man.
Yeah. We were both like, me and my mom were both like, what the hell kind of a name is John Carlo with a last name Stanton? Very, very Italian first name, and then whatever not Italian last name, and then he hit that home run, and we were like, oh yeah.
Some kind of Caribbean mix, probably.
I see. All right,
I see.
And then Jazz Chisholm Jr. Not to speak, too well of the Yankees for too long, but Jazz Chisholm Jr. stealing a second and stealing third. Man, that guy can run.
That guy
runs like lightning. Yeah, that guy runs like lightning. He's so quick. It's ridiculous.
Willie Mays Hayes, bro, and like he's already a fast guy.
Yeah,
and couple that with the fact that our my cousin calls him the man of God, Blake Treinen. Oh yeah, no, because I think he used to be a little bit of a party animal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he found Jesus and went on like a full rehab stint, and now he's just all you can do is toss like the nastiest, goofiest looking like sliders, splitters, that type of shit. It's like how's the ball move like that? It looks wiffle. But bless that guy, he's slow as fuck. And Chisholm was just running a no Diddy train all around the bases.
Oh yeah, it was sort of ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, that was the first time I've ever seen like the name Chisholm outside of our
mutual friend.
Yes.
Mutual friend.
Yes. All right.
Friend of the show, right?
Yeah. So somebody in my family was like, "How the fuck do you even say that last name?" It's like, "Oh, Chisholm. That's how you do it."
They're like, "How do you know this, wizard?" Man of letters.
It's not my first rodeo, I'll tell you. Oh, yep. But we snuck out another dub, and that's how you do it. That's how you take care of business when you have home field advantage. All right.
Yeah, that's another thing that happened where about every inning or so. Again, I came home, in the middle of the second inning, and my mom was on the couch, and every inning or so, she would turn to me and go, "It's really important that they win this game." It's really important that the Dodgers win this game. So the statistics show that if you win the first game, you're 60% whatever likely to win the whole series. It's really important that they win this game. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay.
Whoa. Wow. Matt's mom with the sabermetrics? That's awesome.
She's a woman of letters, woman of numbers.
Imagine your mom wearing like a wizard's cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize for my co-host here. He has a little case of the suds, and we're still combating it. But if you'd like to help us, please support us via Patreon.
We don't have one.
Cash App, Venmo, even.
We do have those.
Yeah. Send us money, and that way we could buy cough syrup.
Oh, Hans, and that Hans can scrub me up real clean.
Yeah. I wash myself with a rag on a stick, that type of shit. Yep, but
baseball. We love the Dodgers.
Yeah, we really do.
Keep liking the Dodgers. Keep playing well, boys. I can't wait for this to come out when you guys are
to the LA Dodgers. Yep, and God, yeah, we're gonna be really late on this. Yeah. So fuck it,
That's fine.
Hopefully next podcast, it's a done deal. We're already, celebrating. I
have a topic that's kind of related to something that's like, okay, so Halloween's coming up, right?
And
yeah, All Hallows Eve. And I was really thinking about so horror movies are known for having like a lot of really shitty sequels to them, right? Like
that's the most famous part of them, yes.
It's the most ubiquitous part of the genre that it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to watch, Nightmare on Elm Street 12 or whatever in theaters now. Like the fact that it's a horror movie happens and then you just make a bunch of cheap sequels that have diminishing returns, and a lot of them aren't good. And no one really questions.
Most of them aren't good.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is that no one really questions it when it's like shitty movies that are like horror movies, right? But like you think about like there's prestige movies out there who do the exact same thing. And they don't get talked about at all. Jaws. How many Jaws movies do you think there are?
Oh, they did the joke in Back to the Future 2, where it's like Jaws 28.
Yeah, there's 4. There's actually 4 of them. And
I knew that there was like a disgusting amount of them.
Yeah,
we did it all once. The shark can go away now.
The shark. Okay, the shark movie is like good. The first one's like legitimately, I'd say it's like one edit away from being like a perfect movie. Like it's like it's a really good movie. And then like 2 movies later they have Jaws 3D, whereas he's like breaking through the glass like Stone Cold Steve Austin. They have Jaws the Revenge, where it's like he's a magical voodoo shark. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take that long for them to go stupid with it. The Exorcist, right? That's considered to be like one of the most like one of the most important horror movies ever made, right? It's so important that like it's a
really good movie. Yes.
It's a prestige movie. How many Exorcists do you think there are?
Well, one just came out last year or earlier this year, so a disgusting amount, I'm willing to say.
There's like 7 or 8 of them, and
could you believe this bullshit?
I can imagine that only like one or 2 of them are good. You know what I mean? Like,
well, there's like a consistent theme, right? It's like you hit a home run with the first movie, right? And then the studio's like, fuck it, we need more. But, they almost never have the same crew that made the first one. It's like the director's always fucking gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like we bring in some bada bitch to crank out 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Spielberg was only there for Jaws 1.
Exactly. I'm willing to put money down that it's the same thing with The Exorcist. Like the Exorcist director immediately after is like, I'm not doing 2. Are you stupid?
Well, yeah. So that's actually one of the things is that the third Exorcist movie was directed by the guy William Peter Blatty, who wrote the novel that The Exorcist is based on, and wrote the screenplay for the first one. He's directed, and apparently that one's good. The third one's apparently fine in the rest of the context. I haven't seen it, so I can't confirm it. But it's the idea of we have this prestigious movie. We have Rocky, right? Rocky is a very famous movie. How many fucking Rocky movies are there at this point?
Okay, take it easy.
Including no. What I'm saying is that I don't like horror movies, it's just sort of like, oh yeah, that happens, you know. Horror movies, of course, whatever. I'm just tired of these prestige movies getting a pass. I'm tired.
There's 6 Rocky movies, and if you count Creed, then technically there's 3 more.
There you go. 9.
Yeah,
There's
with
9
more
Rocky
Creed
movies.
on the way. Could you believe that?
I can believe that. Michael B. Jordan is young. Get him in there. Youngish. He likes anime.
Yeah.
Would you believe?
He's just like me.
He's just like me, except he's cool and attractive and smart.
And black.
And black.
Oh man, remember that song?
Oh
my, I wish it was a black guy.
I thought you were gonna say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. I thought that's what the song was gonna be. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I like most of the Rocky movies.
Okay.
I think I mean the first one, yeah, it's in like the national like registry of like fine like historical movies, like, you know, preserved.
Mm-hmm.
And deservedly so. It's just it's dripping with that like 70s funk, you know?
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is a good movie back in the day. It's a good movie today. And it's definitely a time capsule. It's like going back, it's like, oh yeah, this is how things were back then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then you start getting it.
Yeah, which Rocky sequel does he get a robot butler? Like, you know what I mean?
That's the third one, baby.
That's the third one? Okay, I was about to say, is that 3 or 4? Like,
well, I think the Robo Butler was in 3, carried over to 4, and by the 5th one, they were making jokes about it.
Of course. Because it was so silly that we had a robot butler in the 4th one.
Hey, remember the Robot Butler? It's like, beep bop, I love you, Rocky. He was just, what's his name from Power Rangers?
Zordon's the thing that was the big head.
Zordon was the space wizard.
The Robot Butler is apparently from Rocky 4.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Could you believe it?
That's the robot.
Yeah, Alpha.
Alpha, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Brain.
You did it. You did what I would usually do. That's really cool.
Right. I appreciate it. I have my moments.
Plenty of them.
But hey, look, you can't take away Rocky 3, all right? That
I
movie
don't mean to take away
following
anything.
a formula. It's still pretty cool.
I don't mean to take away anything. I think it's just a lot of the movies that were really good when they made one of them get a lot of slack because that one movie was good, and then they make 20 more, and then no one talks about the other 20. I just think that the first, you know, if we're going to start trashing things in the spirit of Halloween, the spirit of horror movies, in defense of horror movies, we start trashing prestige movies. That's all.
I could do it. Let's.
Nobody talks about Ghostbusters 2. That's what I'm saying. It's like nobody cares about Ghostbusters 2, right?
Oh man, when you have what's his name? It's not Albie Sure. It's like Bobby something, and the fucking Statue of Liberty starts walking.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was like, what the hell is happening? But you know, cool to watch when you're a kid. Terrible to watch as a fully formed adult man.
View of the Carpathian. Jenny Boy. That guy, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Good brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, great catch. No, it stuns me like seeing some of these like kind of even like cult classic movies like Starship Troopers go and have like 20 movies after that.
Which is insane. Because I've never heard anything about those other movies.
I mean, most of them are like direct to DVD type, you know. They're shitty.
Yeah.
Like he got
RoboCop 4.
Oh my god. Oh, 80s movies were the biggest victim of that. Everybody talks like today that studios have no creativity and all they do is sequels. It's like, buddy, are we forgetting that the 80s ran that trope into the fucking ground?
No, because that's right when VHS home video and all that was starting to like take off. And directors realized, or not directors, but studios were like, man, we can make so much money. Just like putting something on
Predator 87. Alien.
Yeah. Whoever wins, we lose. That was the tagline, Alien vs. Predator.
Waffen SS versus Viet Cong.
Shut. Whoever wins, we lose.
Yep. Yeah, that really sucks. God, yeah, no. all those old monster movies.
Mm-hmm.
They really rode them into dust.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like even because back in the day, Universal had like the House of Dracula, the Son of Dracula, the Daughter of Dracula.
Yeah, they did it.
Like, yeah,
They've always done it. That's like a
They've-
classic Hollywood move. I never
You know
want to
what?
hear people say it's
You
just
know
a
what? You're
modern
right.
problem.
You're right. They've always done it.
Yep. They
Sandlot
love money
too,
to
even.
do.
Yeah.
Hey, these people who run Hollywood seem to really like money.
Who would have thought it?
Who would have Terry Funk it?
That's from because that's okay. I can figure this out. That's Lon Chaney Jr. as Dracula. So
Shut up.
Yeah.
so that is Son of Dracula.
Is
that right?
This is Son of Dracula. Yeah.
Hot
my
dog.
God.
It's on point. It's on point.
Hot dog.
Somebody, please get this man's brain scanned.
Find out where there's problems in it. We'll fix it up.
Matt, you have a very impressive type of autism, I'll admit.
Yeah, it's but I mean that's Lon Chaney Jr. That's one of the most if you've ever seen any old monster movie, odds are Lon Chaney Jr. was in it. Because he was in all of them, like basically. I think he's the only guy to play like all of the Hollywood monsters. Like he played Frankenstein, he played the Wolfman, he played the Dracula at some point in his career. He's
Played
ridiculous.
Simon Belmont. Could you believe it?
'Tis I.
That fear Simon Belmont is here. Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm respecting that one, but yeah. Horror movies and sequels, they just can't stop it.
They can't stop making them.
How many fucking Insidious movies are there?
Oh, there's like 6 at this point. 5? There's 5.
And that's a new franchise that I feel it's like, wow, the first movie sucked. Why are they keeping like
The first movie had some
Why do we need
attention to
more?
it. I didn't really want to see all the other ones though.
There's 5 Insidious movies.
Yeah,
I-
they just made one recently.
Yeah, Insidious the Red Door.
There you go.
I don't see it because the first movie wasn't like a classic, you know? It wasn't as good as the first of some of these old, like other horror movies
Yeah,
to warrant having, 6 shitty spin-offs.
I agree with you. It was it had a couple of scares in it, and it wasn't a couple moments of tension, but it wasn't like I went out of it being like, "Wow, Insidious is my new favorite movie," because it wasn't. It was just like, oh yeah, like even as a scared kid watching it with my sister, I was just like, oh yeah, this is whatever.
Yeah, I think
I'm not that
the
impressed.
problem with like horror movies now, or especially now, because it's really hard to find a good like horror movie or a horror movie that is itself a good movie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's they don't focus on like, okay, what makes a good movie a good movie.
No, they approach it the same way
never
that
really
Christian
did.
filmmaking approaches Christian filmmaking. Where they're
Oh,
like, let's make a spook movie before we make a good spook movie. A good movie that has spooks in it. You know what I mean?
I get you, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not a huge fan of the horror genre for that fact. It's like, wow, most of these are just dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that I do like, I consider like, first and foremost, wow, it's good. It's a good piece of art. It's like they did it right. It's like it's paced well. It looks pretty. Like they're doing what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always point to John Carpenter's The Thing.
Hell,
A prime
yes.
example. It's like
But-
that is a great movie. That is a horror movie. And it's like it's thriller-ish, it's monster-ish. It's great. I could watch
I was working the other night, and I just put that on like my second monitor, and I had to stop working because I was like too busy watching the movie. That's like my favorite horror movie. It's my go-to whenever someone says like, "What's your favorite horror movie?" That's just my go-to. It's such a good movie.
It's probably the only horror movie that that I like to like put on and actually watch.
Yeah.
It's like everything else is like, all right, okay, let's go for it, But I'm hype about that movie just because I know how they made it too. It's like, could you believe the fucking puppet? That's a puppet.
Can you believe Rob
operated by, like,
Bottin went to
80
the
men?
hospital? Rob Bottin went to the hospital multiple times in the process of making that movie because he was working so hard on making everything look good. Shout out. Yeah. And also, like, okay, so watching that movie the other night, I knew this before, but it just really emphasized how, like, darkly funny I find a lot of that movie. Where, like, they're going to look for, I forget one of the characters. And they've locked Wilford Brimley in the shack. And they go and, like, open the little thing so that they can talk to Wilford Brimley. And they're like, Blair, have you seen, what's his name? And there's a pause, and then it cuts to Wilford Brimley, and he has, like, a noose hung up, like, right next to him. And he's just sitting there eating something out of a can, and he goes, I don't want to be in here anymore. I want to come inside with you guys.
What a guy.
While the noose is, like, right there, and they're like, no, you're staying out of here, Blair. And he's like, no, for real. Can I come back inside with you guys? Please? Oh, man.
It's just superimposed on the noose. We love it.
Yeah, just the thought of Wilford Brimley tying that noose up and just being like, I don't want to be out here anymore. I want to come inside.
I think I want to come inside. Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie.
Yep. And I can't point to another horror movie that I feel is, good. Or at least, like, on that level.
Even if we're sticking with John Carpenter, the Halloween is sort of like, without Halloween, we don't have any slasher genre whatsoever. And it sort of spawned from this one movie that he made.
Movie's right. That movie's it's good.
Movie has Jamie Lee Curtis.
I know.
Looking young as ever.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis in horror movies.
Wow,
you've seen The Fog. You've seen Terror Train.
You said looking young as ever, and then my mind was immediately shot to. Oh man, it was a teacher in our high school, one who was also the girls' golf coach. He would always just say the creepiest shit all the time. He's like, I need young girls for my golf team.
Yeah.
It gave me that vibe.
And then
there's Jamie Lee Curtis looking absolutely fertile.
Jamie Lee Curtis just the last time we talked about Jamie Lee Curtis, you're like, I don't know if she's ever been young. You said something like, I think she came out of the womb looking like a 50-year-old lesbian.
Yeah, I stand by it.
And then I think Halloween is like, no, she's young in that. She's like basically a teenager.
Dude, like Morgan Freeman, always old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
It's actually a cool story. Like he broke into movies when he was like 50.
Yeah. Before that, he was just on the electrical train or whatever that show was called. He was on a show that taught kids the alphabet, like Sesame Street.
Oh, LeVar Burton.
Yeah, LeVar Burton style.
Rainbow.
Cowboy Curtis, yeah.
John B. the Genie.
RoboCop, Terminator, Captain Kirk, Darth Vader, Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger.
Every single Power Ranger, Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan, Rock the Doc, Oxbach, and Hulk Hogan.
Good enough for me.
Yep, look at us go. God, did you feel the tingle? I felt a little tingle.
I felt a little something between us there,
You know what we're talking about, Antwan?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
God bless you. God bless your kind heart.
There's some kids out there who don't know.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm getting worried because we are approaching that age where it's like, what do you mean you don't know the ultimate showdown, huh?
Ultimate Destiny.
Yeah.
There's some things on the internet that are. I try to I talk to people who aren't even that younger than me, like a couple of years, and it's just there's a divide. There's like a definite like
the bull and the bear.
Yeah. Well, just like they haven't heard of like the G.I. Joe PSAs or something like that, and I'm like, oh my god, am I old? Am I exceptionally old?
G.I. Joe PSA. This is one of the few things from Family Guy that I know, or it was G.I. Jose. And he's like, if you get a cut or something, just rub some dirt in it.
Yeah, rub some dirt on the wound. It'll heal on its own.
G.I. Jose. Yeah,
it's just like the G.I. Joe PSAs are one of those like epitomes of comedy where every so often I just go back and I watch all of them and I laugh just as hard. And I'm like, okay, like these are still nothing is ever gonna like that's just like one of the peaks of like nothing's ever gonna quite top that quite level of humor.
G.I. Joe's teaching me how to not get kidnapped.
Nah, it's the edited videos where it's like the kids are playing soccer and they run over to the guy who's like the G.I. Joe guy and he's like, 2 Israeli fighter jets have bombed a local school the other day. And then it's like it goes back to the kids playing soccer, and they run back, and it's like Israeli fighter jets have been seen over the Palestinian border. G.I. Joe, like it's just. There's man.
I feel like that's such an easy bit to do.
We can
like a modern piece of like war news tell it to children.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like,
that's really funny.
Russians are advancing on Kharkiv.
But it's like not every like
reporting 1,000 casualties from their
like the joke was different in every single one. Like there was one where they were playing like football or something, and because the point of the original G.I. Joe PSAs was to teach kids safety, right? Or like how to stay safe before
you cross the street, dumbass.
Yeah, but the G.I. Joe PSAs, the edited versions, like the jokes are all weird and different. So it's like there's one where they're playing football, and the kid gets tackled and he gets a bloody nose, and the G.I. Joe guy comes up and goes, "Nice catch, Blanco Nino. Too bad your ass got sacked." And then he tackles the kid. I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up. We can watch them after if you want. Again, they're like some of the funniest shit that it's like nothing's ever gonna quite top like that style of humor to me. Where it's like that's the funniest that's gonna get.
Oh my God, that is great.
Yeah,
that is great, man. That sounds like some late night Adult Swim like Robot Chicken shit.
Oh yeah, it's not that far off. It's
I forgot Robot Chicken existed.
You're not watching Robot Chicken season 27?
I was not supposed to watch.
Unlocked a core memory.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What was your first Robot Chicken skit you ever saw? Was it the gummy bear that got its foot in the bear trap?
Oh my God, I remember that.
That's the famous one. That's like a lot of kids are like, "Oh my gosh."
I love the Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars ones are good.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the Star Wars ones.
I got us Mon Calamari pizza, but I found out that's also people, and I'm not allowed to do that.
I was gonna go down to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters, and then they're just
his uncle's just like me. Whatever.
Oh man, Robot. It was disturbing to watch as a child. I was like always taken back by that style of animation.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is mature, and I'm frightened.
But they're like action figures, and their mouths move weird, and they move real fluid.
Well, it was that and like Celebrity Death Fight, where it's like,
oh my God, that's another piece of like media that I don't think you can like. Again, a child a few years younger than us. Hey, do you guys know Celebrity Death Fight? What is that?
What the fuck are you talking about, old man?
You know, NSYNC versus it was NSYNC versus was it the Beastie Boys?
Oh,
I forget.
I cannot remember the matchups. You're asking me to do that is beyond my capabilities. But I just remember watching those. I was like kind of hyped for them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sick! And it would always be so gruesome. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this, Mom. It's like weird for me to say because I watched plenty of mature movies when I was a child. I was like, wow, Austin Powers is my shit. Grandma's Boy was my shit. But as soon as we get to like, Robot Chicken and Celebrity Death Fight, I'm like, oh, this is slightly uncomfortable.
I had a moment like that where a cousin was showing me Happy Tree Friends for the first time.
Oh man, wait, for the first time?
Well, it's like I'd never seen it before, and he was like, you ever seen this? And I'm like, no, never. And it was like, he showed me one, and it was, it was gruesome, and I was like, oh, okay, like whatever. And then he showed me another one where it was like the anteater guy ate ants, and the ants like killed him from the inside. And I was like, I don't like this. I want to stop watching this.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm surprised that Happy Tree Friends was on air for that long.
For air, it was on YouTube, wasn't it?
No, wasn't also shown on like
it was on TV. I remember watching it on TV or seeing glimpses of it.
Holy shit, that's nuts. I feel like I only ever watched it on like the computer or something. So.
Yeah, I never watched it through the computer, or I don't remember anyways.
Yeah. I don't even know why I watched it as a kid. And see, that's prime reason number one. Do not give kids the internet. Yeah, it's terrible. Like, goodness gracious. I've always said it's like, yeah, no. If I ever have children, I will make sure that, the highest tech they'll be allowed is a Game Boy. At least until, a semi-responsible age.
Not even a
Yeah.
DS.
Okay, maybe
No.
a DS. DS
An
is-
old Game Boy that's not backlit. So to make it work, they have to go by a window and shoot it near when the light's coming through.
No, they
You
can
gotta-
get a
you
Game
gotta-
Boy
You,
Advance
you can
that
play.
has
You can
the
play
turns the light on.
Pokemon Red, and that's
I
it.
love that one.
Yeah.
Fire Red was some shit.
Gotta get it where they start from the start. So you give them a Game Boy, and then next year you give them a DS, and then a Nintendo.
Oh, you
Switch.
see, technology is
See?
progressing.
See? And then you get them hooked on
Ooh,
Pokemon.
you're getting a
and they
PS
play that for
Vita
like 3 or
this
4
year.
years.
Aren't you hype?
Oh my god, a PS Vita. like my cousin showed me the Happy Tree Friends on like a PSP, where he had like downloaded the videos. I remember that. So like, yeah, I don't know.
Vita
Yeah.
had internet.
Yeah.
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 No, the PSP actually kicked ass. PSP doesn't get enough love, man. I'll tell you. I say that was
That's a-
peak mobile gaming,
That's a miniature PSP you got right there.
bro. Do you remember Jack and Daxter?
I remember Jack and Daxter. I never played Jack and Daxter.
That was some of my favorite platformers when I was a kid, right? And for the PSP, they just had a game called Daxter, where you played as the little guy.
Okay.
And it was so good. It was so good.
So good.
Unfortunately, I'm too young to know, but
No Jack and Daxter.
no, I don't know Jack and Daxter.
Oh
Classic
my
PlayStation
God.
icons they were.
Do you know who Ratchet and Clank are, Antwan?
I do know who those are.
Thank you.
Oh well, that's very famous.
I knew about them before the
In
new
my
one.
mind, they occupy the same space where it's like early, PlayStation platformer. Yeah, you and your little buddy. Like that. That's like the same thing in my mind.
Yeah, you got your Sly Coopers, you got your Jack and Daxters,
Yeah.
you got your Ratchet and Clanks.
Yeah.
God, those were the days. Those were the days. Might even go try to, bury out my PSP because it might be the only game that's like still there.
What do you think's the most obscure PlayStation game you played?
Oh,
Because
okay. Let's
because for me it was never like I was sort of like very isolated in how I gamed in my very early years. Where it's like I played video games with my brother sometimes, but a lot of the time it was just like I was at the store, and my parents were like, "Hey, do you want to get like a game or something?" And I would be like, "This game looks cool," and sometimes the game was not cool. Sometimes the game was bad, but I didn't like
games sucked ass.
Yeah, but I didn't like get games that people thought were popular. I got games that I thought were gonna look nice, and then sometimes they were popular games, like a Kingdom
I feel like
Hearts.
that was the strat for getting games back then. I mean, we didn't have IGN when we were
No,
5.
man. So I always went to my friend's house, and the PSP game that we would play is the Ghostbusters, the video game. It was
Oh hell yeah, dude!
It was multiplayer, and that's what I remember doing. That's probably the most obscure thing. I'll actually pull up an image on the screen.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
remember I played that on PlayStation 3. And that was back in the day when if they did like a movie game, they would do like pretty much a different game for every console.
Yes, because for some reason where it's hardware or whatnot, they just sort of split production. It was weird. It was always weird.
Yeah, it's like let's have 20 studios make the same game, but
Yeah.
not the same game. The same in name only.
I have a couple of like games that I loved as a kid that like growing up and like I'm surprised when I see it places. Marvel Rise of the Imperfects was a game that I played a lot as a kid because I saw a kid playing it on the PSP and I was like,
From the depths of my mind, Mac. I love that shit. Imperfects was great.
I loved comic books, and so I was like, "This is kind of cool." And that game scared me as a kid, really, because I was frightened of everything. But like the intro was like all these superheroes
Terrifying.
dying, all these superheroes just dying, and then it's like the game's like, "All right, now start it, now play the game, idiot." And it's like it had a really just dark and grungy aesthetic to everything. But then like,
And like half of the villains were like superheroes who were corrupted in some sense, right?
yeah, they were all like rebuilt people with like superpowers, and some of them were actual monsters. Like the guy that was like the assembly of like a platoon pretty much of soldiers. His name was Brigade, and he was just like a Frankenstein pretty much. He was horrifying.
God, I remember playing that game, having fun, and hating it all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the feeling playing the game, where it's just like, man, this is upsetting because I like all these superheroes. But like, I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
That was a really good one. And you just shot my mind to like they had fantastic Marvel games back in Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah.
1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it? The absolute shit.
That's what my
mind. Deadpool guy,
Oh yeah. Before you knew who Deadpool was, it's like, oh man.
Exactly. That was the first exposure I had to Deadpoolio.
Does he know he's in a video game? That's weird. I don't know how to feel about that.
He's talking to me. He's weird.
There was that's what my brain jumped to when you said that they would make different video games for different consoles depending on whatnot, because they had two different things for Marvel Alliance. Two, where they had one for PS2 and original Xbox, and then they had another game for Xbox 360 and PS3. And I remember like watching it and being like, wait a minute, this isn't the same game at all. Why are they both Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2?
The graphics are so much better. Also, it's not the same.
It's not. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, just at least keep the narrative.
Yeah. But no.
Holy moly.
But no. And then another game that I played a lot of that I've only found like one other person who's ever played it was Rampage Total Destruction. Did you ever the Rampage games?
I know the monkey.
Yeah. So this was it's pretty much the same gameplay, but it's like in 3D, and you can eat people and you can smash things and you can do whatever. And there was like 30 different monsters you can play as opposed to like the normal 3. Yeah, there it is. And I played this game so much as a kid.
Oh my god, my brain.
Just like trying to find every monster and like listening to all because it's all like really cheaply like the bits of voice acting where it's like, wow, that's good soda. Like all of like the weird bits of dialogue are now like embedded in my brain permanently. It's like, oh man.
Okay, I'm about to autism out a little hard right now.
Go for it.
That game poster reminds me of two things. There was a Hulk video game that wasn't a tie-in with the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember I rented that from Blockbuster and never returned it because Blockbuster went under.
That's why they went under.
And the PS2 hit, what was it? It was like Kill All Humans.
Destroy All Humans. The Alien.
The Alien guy. Yes, the Alien game where you just go around and fuck with it. Like that is the same vibe and art style, I think.
Yeah, you're not that far off. I loved that game as a kid, dude. Destroy All Humans. It's so much fun.
It was weird. I was like, whoa, what the hell is that?
They remade that game and they put it out recently.
They remastered it. It was actually really good from what I hear. So
yeah, I had a fun time playing through it.
Wow. Hey, drop a comment if you would like us to play the of Destroy All Humans.
Now, Nick, that's not fair because when this comes out, that's the only thing I'm going to comment is I want us to play Destroy All Humans. I want to play Destroy All Humans. All right.
Hey, you know what? That's a wish that we can make come true.
Make a wish come
true.
We
can. New Day Rocks.
New Day Rocks.
Yeah, this is as good a time as any to be like, hey, please like this video. Please, for the love of God, hit the like button. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your mama, your papa.
You know that 63% of our viewers aren't subscribed? Which means subscribe.
Yeah, imagine being 63% an asshole.
I don't know if I would go that far, but
I think
if you're not subscribed, I hate you. I hate you.
Listen, if you watch our content and you like our content, why not stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, just push a button. Help a Nick out,
His name's Nick.
My name is name. I I didn't say the other thing. Calm down.
Oh man.
Yeah, but we appreciate it. Yeah, we're having a fun time. We're hoping you're having a fun time. And would you look at the time, Anthony, please, you have to leave.
Anthony, you have to get out of here.
Anthony, hit the brick.